here on this windy day, about to do some roping, which I tell you is not advisable. The wind is not the friend of the rope, generally speaking, but you know, this is the time I have to do it, so we're gonna give it a go. And what I've been thinking about today is the twisting of the rope. And if you've ever roped very much, or at least even a little bit, you'll know the rope gets all twisty in your hands. You can't spin it much more than about 10 times until you start to feel the effects of the twisting. You're spinning it in one direction over and over, holding on to the end, and it gets all twisted up. And so you have to do something to counteract that. So the typical answer is to twist the rope in your fingers to counteract the twisting of the rope, and it keeps it from, you know, tangling up on you. Twisting it in your fingers, you got to develop that skill. You know, it's something that doesn't just come automatically. But you know, that's one answer. You have to untwist it, unless you do some kind of swivel handle contraption, which I don't bother with any of that nonsense. That's not my answer. So what if you have a long rope and you have a coil in your other hand? You can't easily twist the rope in your fingers and just let it untwist. You've got to do something else. There's got to be another answer how to keep your rope from twisting up. So in these cases, you have to get a little more creative. So one thing to remember is that in one orientation, if you're spinning the rope, it's going to twist up unless you switch the orientation. So continually switching from one orientation to another. And what I mean by that is, like in the butterfly, if you're spinning it on the right, that's one orientation. Then you flip it around to your left side, that's going to untwist what you had on the right. So equal turns on the left and the right. It's going to be a steady, it's going to be a stable, ongoing pattern that you can do without getting any twists in your rope and without having to twist your fingers. And then if you're doing a flat loop or a horizontal loop, you spin it out in front of you. Once you step in the wedding ring, it's going to untwist whatever you did in the flat loop. So the wedding ring counteracts the spins that you do out with the flat loop in front of you, interestingly enough. It all has to do with your hand pointing down, doing the flat loop, and then once you get up, doing the wedding ring, just the fact that your hand is pointed up, even though the rope will come down after that, it's still going to be untwisting. So if you do equal spins on a flat loop and then step in and spin some in a wedding ring and then go back and forth, flat loop, wedding ring, flat loop, wedding ring, that's a stable, ongoing solution for you. And then likewise, you could spin it out in front of you, and then you could lift it, pop it on over your head to the wedding ring position. There's multiple ways to get in, but it's the same idea. Believe me, try it out. And so there's other variations of this. Obviously, if you spin a rope, well, I talked about the butterfly, but then if you do a vertical loop, a big vertical loop, like your big wagon wheel and your skip rope, you spin it on your right side, you're ready to skip through. After about 5 or 6 turns, it's about time you skip through to the other side. You can do about 5 or 6 turns there, and then do it like that, and it will untwist. But generally, we just do a couple turns, and we skip, skip, skip back and forth. We don't do 5 or 6, but you can. You can if you want. Whatever you do, you need to even it out. Whatever you do on one side, do on the other side. Now, these are kind of the boring ways. The more boring ways of untwisting your rope. I was thinking of a few creative, out-of-the-box ways. I thought if you're holding some extra rope in your hand, as long as it's not super long, and not, you know, if you have a ton of coils, this isn't going to work. But if you just have some excess rope in your other hand, then if you're spinning it in one direction in the right hand, well, you can just spin the excess rope you have in your other hand, like so, as I'll demonstrate. And it'll untwist. It keeps it untwisted for you. So try that out. It's kind of fun, kind of crazy looking. If you're a little goofy, then, you know, goofy like me, then you think it's kind of interesting. But, you know, maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe it's uncool and I'm just making a fool of myself. Who knows? You be the judge. And then another one that I thought of, along that vein, if you're twisting the rope in your other hand, if you just had a little extra rope, you can make another loop on the other end and just have the double header. So it's a double header rope, it's a snake with 2 heads. You're twisting one in your right hand, twisting one in your left hand, and as long as you keep it equal spins in each hand, that's an ongoing solution there for you. It's fun, but yeah, I'll admit, that one is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But it works, you know, and it's just a theoretical thing I just wanted to prove, you know, and I probably would never do it in performance or anything. Who knows? Who knows? You're welcome to try it.